glued it together with Gorilla Glue and a plywood paste. And as you can see here, the fracture occurred at 533.78 pounds of force. And here's a graph.
So how we created the core was basically we just traced a template on paper in our actual mold so it would be in the shape of the board. We then cut out 3 layers of the birch veneer and then we glued them together with weldwood, which is a special glue that would help the veneer stick better. And then after that, we laid the 3 layers of the core into the mold again, so it would be in the actual shape of the board, so it would be ready for the carbon fiber.
Here are just some pictures of cutting out the board, the board.
Our manufacturing method is laying carbon fiber. First what we did was we cut the carbon fiber to about double the width of our board so that we could layer it over. Then what we did is we coated we took the birch core and we coated that with some resin while we coated the actual layers with epoxy resin. So we got those nice and thick with resin on them. And then what we did was we layered the carbon fiber, all of the carbon fiber first, and then we put the fiberglass on top of that, and then we put the birch core in the middle there, and then we started wrapping them. So after we wrapped them, so that it covered everything, and so what we did is we cut the excess carbon fiber and fiberglass around the perimeter of the board, and then we set up a system where we applied a vacuum. Vacuum bagging, where we applied a vacuum to suck the resin, the excess resin, away from the carbon fiber and the fiberglass, and so that allowed it to be more dense and stronger.
Here's some pictures of that process. Here's the core. And we're folding over one of the layers there. This is the vacuum.
So here's our material costs just for this board specifically. First you had the carbon fiber, it's 33.5 square foot of that we ended up using. And that was about $75. Then the birch veneer, 9.5 square feet, that was $17.50. Then we had, as we said, that 1 layer of fiberglass in the middle along the birch core. So we just had a little bit of that, 6.7 square feet. That was just $8. And then the actual epoxy resin, which we layered all the layers with. And we use about 16 ounces of that. If you buy in bulk, you can get, that'll cost you about $12. So the total cost, $112.69 in materials for just this one board.
So in the end, we, with the fixed cost of just machining the buck and then also the mold base of the butter board, all those can be reused. So the only that's a one-time incurred cost, and then our final, like just the manufacturing process of the layering. It's pretty easy to replicate. Just probably the whole process took about 3.5 hours, excluding the vacuum bagging, which you have to keep going for a few hours afterwards. So this can be done on a large scale if you have enough workers.
some difficulties that we encountered during this process. First, we had to go through the testing to figure out what the best layup would be. And then also, while we were laying up the carbon fiber, we didn't realize at the beginning that once the epoxy was applied, the carbon fiber actually seemed to shrink in size. So that was a bit of an issue. Then also figuring out the finishing cuts for the butter board. And then almost relearning how to use SurfCam. And then gluing the birch veneer layers together, we weren't getting the edges glued good enough, so we had to go back and re-glue the edges. And then the vacuum hose caused a problem because it actually made indentions into the board. So we would try to figure out a better way to do that next time if we ever did this again.
So some of our future additions and improvements, we would probably conduct some more flexure tests with curved samples so that we can get single point flexure tests and see like if you're going to jump up and down in the middle of the board, how much weight that can take to handle. And then again, adjusting the vacuum hose and nozzle, and then just making it look better with some decals and whatnot. And then also improving the finish appearance of the bottom of the board with the vacuum bag, the silicone layer that helps release the resin. Doesn't really leave it with a very nice finish. And then just get better at cutting the birch veneer core all around. We had some problems with using the right tools to cut the birch veneer. So, and we'd like to thank Jason Lowe, Serrani, and Dr. Harvey West, and Dan, and also Heath for helping out with the whole project.
Yeah, he wasn't really in our group, but he helped us like he